everyone, this is Valen Gabriel, and in this video I will give KND Kids Next Door characters a Pokémon team, because I love crossovers and even more so when it's two of my favorite media of all time. In this video specifically, I will talk about Sector V number 1 through 5, the main characters of the show. But before we go further, I have to give you a spoiler warning. If you're only here for the Pokémon stuff and don't know anything about KND Kids Next Door, or don't remember much of it, this is a friendly reminder that I will make references to many things that have happened throughout the show. So you have been warned. Before we take a deep dive, I have made a few rules on how I chose the Pokémon for the characters. Rule number 1. A full team of 6 Pokémon for each characters. It's so that no character will be at disadvantage compared to other, but it is also a way to force myself to find the right Pokémon for them. Sometimes it was easy to fill the 6 spots, and sometimes it was slightly more difficult, making a real challenge for me. Rule number 2. Starters, legendary, and mythical Pokémon will be extremely limited, but not banned. It's simply because these Pokémon always get the spotlight in the respective generation. Starters are literally the main focus of the game advertisement, and so are the box set legendaries. Mythical Pokémon often get spotlight for game events and get a movie as well. There are special Pokémon in a sense where they're supposed to be rare, so if everyone gets them, then they're not special anymore. Restricting these Pokémon will allow the lesser known ones to have a better chance to shine, because all Pokémon deserve it. Well, most of them. Rule number 3. No repeat of the evolution line between characters, unless they are related. It's pretty much for the same reason as the previous rule. Seeing the same Pokémon for a lot of different characters will be a little redundant. Rule number 4. Base or baby form Pokémon for the kid characters to show their childlike stage. The base form is always considered as the kid version of the Pokémon, the middle evolution being the awkward teenage phase, and the final evolution being the adult version of the Pokémon. I know that evolution in the Pokémon world isn't exactly the same as aging, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to ignore that. As though there will be exceptions for that rule as well, and I will give a very good reason for them. Rule number 5. Personality, history, abilities, and physical appearances of the characters will be taken into account to choose the Pokémon. If a Pokémon really reminds me of that character, then it's gonna be in his team. If I really don't have any option, that is. I will also look at Pokédex entries to see if it will fit certain characters for any of those reasons. Now that the rules are explained, let's start with number 1. Nigel Uno is the British leader of Sector V. Extremely faithful to the ideal of the Kids Next Door, he takes his role in missions very seriously. But he is also paranoid, always convinced his conspiracy theories are real. So his first and 8th Pokémon will be Charmander. For being the sector leader, he deserves a starter, and the best choice is obviously the Fire starter from Gen 1, because he's number 1. It's also a reference to Father who has a Mega Charizard X. Charmander is a reptile, so it doesn't have fur, and Nigel is bald, so it fits pretty well. His second Pokémon will be a little Leo, a normal fire type to show his potentials as a fire user himself. His third Pokémon is an Abra, which is a reference to Grandfather's Mega Alakazam. This is his last Pokémon that will reference his relative, I promise. But the main reason is this one.
So why don't you get in the Pokeball before you get hurt?
I've got a better idea!
Yeah, while number 1 is often a fearless leader, sometimes he does run away from a fight when the situation is asking for it. And I understand that Wild Abras only know teleport, but it really feels like they're running away from you. His fourth Pokémon is a Fletchling, another reference to his potential future fire powers, as Fletchling starts as a normal flying type, then gains the fire type upon evolving. Plus, look at the color scheme of that Pokémon! This is totally Nigel's outfit right there, it's perfect! His fifth Pokémon is an Eevee. Maybe you'll be tired of the reason, but yes, this Pokémon represents Nigel's future potential. Will it evolve into a Flareon, an Umbreon, something else? Who knows? His final Pokémon is a Seal. Quite surprising because yeah, I keep thinking of fire type for him, but you know, in the episode Operation Graduates, Father successfully transformed all Kids Next Door operative into animals, and Nigel turned into a seal. So that's for number 1's team, time to move to the next operative, number 2. Huggy Pennywhistle Gilligan Jr. is the 2x4 Technology Officer and designated pilot of Sector V. She's the nerd scientist of the group, is also a good food trader and can recognize a counterfeit Yippee card. He has a lot going for him, but he unfortunately can't make a decent joke. His ace Pokémon is Rufflet. It's based on the American Bald Eagle, so it fits Huggy for being the American kid of the group. Having a flying type as his ace Pokémon to represent his palette status is the best choice for him. His second Pokémon is a Munchlax. Huggy is the least picky eater of Sector V, as he would eat Grandma Stuffan's food willingly, so this Pokémon that eats a lot is fitting for Huggy. His third Pokémon is a Clink. This is the best Pokémon to represent his engineering skills as a 2x4 tech officer. His fourth Pokémon is a Pikachu, but not just any kind of Pikachu. It's a Detective Hat Pikachu, to reference his detective side job / hobby. His fifth Pokémon is a Grivard. It might sound strange and not obvious at first, but this Pokémon is there to represent the Gilligan's dog.
We have a dog?
Yes, they have a dog, as seen in his family picture. Grivard was chosen because it kinda looks like a dog, but since the dog wasn't seen for over a month, it leads the fandom to think he might be dead. Hence the ghost-type doggo. His final Pokémon will reference his animal transformation in Operation Graduates, meaning a hippo, so Hippopotas will complete Huggy's team. Next operative to cover is number 3. Cookie Sanban is the Divisionary Tactics expert and the medical specialist of Sector V. She's bubbly and joyful, a ball of bright positivity in the kids next door. She's the kind of trainer to use any type of Pokémon. Her ace Pokémon is Stunky. Now I know that a poison type might feel a little weird for Cookie, but this is a clear reference to Bradley the skunk. How can I leave out the sun? Number 6 had to make an appearance somehow in this video. Her second Pokémon is a Dedenne, because it is based on hamster and Cookie is also the hamster caretaker of Sector V. Now for a following Pokémon, I wanted to give her the Elemental Monkeys to reference the Rainbow Monkeys, a franchise in the Kids Next Door universe that she loves a lot. But I feel like it will be a little redundant as she is much more than just loving the Rainbow Monkeys. Instead, I decided to settle for a Grass, Fire and Water type to replace the Elemental Monkeys. Her Grass type is Sunflora to show her bright personality. It's a sunflower. Cookie is literally a ray of sunshine. For a Fire type, I chose Vulpix because it's based on a Kitsune, which is Japanese like her. It's also a very cute Fire type and I definitely see her using one. For a Water type, I settled on with Goldeen. It's based on a goldfish, referencing Operation Fishing where her pet fish seemingly dies. But he's fine. Don't worry about that. And the Pokémon is also based on a variety of koi fish, which is also Japanese. For a final Pokémon based on her animal transformation, it was a little difficult to find the right Pokémon as there is no crane Pokémon as we speak. The closest thing we have is Bombardier. I know that a stork and a crane are very different, but also physically they're kind of similar. I know it's a stretch, but I can't do better. Plus Bombardier has this motherly, caretaker inspiration and Cookie is a natural at this. Now on to number 4. Wallaby Beetles, everyone's favorite little angry Australian boy. He's the hand-to-hand combat specialist, the brawn of the group. Wally also has a history of being a bully either in the past or in the current time. He did learn his lesson though, so that's good. To show his bully tendency, the best Pokémon for it is Craggy, a dark fighting type. Also the tail kinda looks like his hoodie, so there you go. His second Pokémon is a Ralts because they have the same haircut. Kinda. I know he wouldn't want a cruddy yucky fairy type, but he will totally want a badass Galette later on. His third Pokémon is a Breloom. It's a grass fighting type that's also a kangaroo. Kinda. He's Australian, it's that simple. Pancham and Monkey are completing his team for being fighting types. Pancham especially is there because once it evolves, it becomes a dark type as well, and Pangaroo is based on juvenile delinquent to reference his bully tendencies. His final Pokémon is Komala because this is the only koala Pokémon that we have for his animal transformation. Last but certainly not least, it's time to see what number 5's team looks like. Abigail Linkle used to be the leader of Sector V, but after Najo's kidnapping by the delightful children from down the lane, she stepped down from the position. She became second in command instead after Nigel joined Sector V. She is a cool led by tomboy and is also the stealth specialist of the group. She is also a candy hunter in her free time, so to represent it, her ace Pokémon will be a Vanillite. It mainly references the mythical fourth pure flavor of ice cream. Her second Pokémon to reference her candy hunting is a Cremi. But you're going to wonder which form of a Cremi would fit her. Well, taking inspiration from Operation Caramel, she has a caramel swirl Cremi, and it has a berry, because it's blue and that's her main color. Her third Pokémon is a Sneasel to reference her stealth abilities. Her fourth Pokémon is a Rockruff, is to reference Operation Doghouse, where Abby turns into a homework-eating were-dog. Rockruff evolved into Lycanroc, which is loosely based on werewolves. Her fifth Pokémon is Dratini. Don't have an actual reason other than just, I feel it fits her. For her final Pokémon references her animal transformation, it's the same problem as number 3. There's no gazelle Pokémon so far. So I will take the next best thing, which is Blitzel, a zebra. And because she's my favorite, she gets a shiny Blitzel. So there you go. Here's all of Sector V's Pokémon team. What do you think? Leave a comment to share your thoughts and tell me your own take for the respective team if my version wasn't what you expected. I'd love to read your ideas, and if you want to see more videos like this one, like and subscribe to not miss the next video. In the meantime, stay young people,